How would you define leadership? I'm sure you know it when you see it, but can you put it into words? Leadership is a really funny thing because we talk about it all the time. We kind of know what it feels like, we know when we see it, but we struggle to define it, to put it into words. What is leadership? If you go and ask 10 different people, they're going to give you 10 different answers. Even amongst experts and leadership consultants, you're not going to find a unified answer. Funny enough, if you ask them, they probably won't give you any answer at all. They might point you to a model or a framework, but no one is sitting down and really defining what is leadership. But leadership is the most important aspect of our society. It's how we organize ourselves, how we organize our structures and systems, our companies, our work, our personal life. Great leadership has been found to more than double a company's profits. When you look at how a company performs, leadership is responsible for 21% of overall performance. From Cleopatra to Mao Zedong, leaders capture our attention. They inspire us, they move us, but they also disgust us, repel us, and bring us to our knees. So what is leadership? There are a few different ways to look at leadership. One is that it is a role that we occupy. So it is a position. Therefore, anyone who is in that position is inherently a leader. So the president of a country, the CEO of a company, by being in that position, they are automatically the leader of that country, the leader of that company. Some other people think it's just an innate quality. So leadership is something you just have or you don't have. It's something that's inherent in me and that I showcase as a child, as an adolescent, as an adult, and it's just a trait that I have. So we try to define those traits. We might say they're extroverted or intelligent or dominant. These are all the innate qualities that might make up a leader. Finally, there's a school of thought that leadership is a social process. It's something you do, and you do in relationship to other people. And so if leadership is a social process, something I can do in relation to other people, then anyone can be a leader. Anyone can learn those skills. When we define leadership as just a role, then inherently, if you're not in a role, you're not a leader. So you have no responsibility and very little accountability. If it's just an innate trait, then we shouldn't develop for anything. We shouldn't develop skills. We shouldn't train people because you either have it or you don't have it. And there's a special class of people and people who are not special. It's very black and white, it's very binary. In a social process, anyone can learn how to relate with other people and relate with themselves in a way that moves things forward. So in my experience and in my research, everything I've seen draws me to the conclusion that leadership is a social process. It's something we do in relationship to other people, which also means that you can be in a position of authority, like a president or a CEO, and not actually be a leader because you're forfeiting the activities that make you a leader. You're not taking responsibility for yourself and being a leader. And we see this all the time. There's many inept bosses. There's many managers that cannot lead people. So they're in positions of authority, but they don't know how to lead. Meanwhile, there are people who are amazing leaders who are not in these amazing positions of authority. So this is how I define leadership. Leadership is a conscious process whereby individuals or teams direct creation. So let's take that apart. What does that actually mean? It's a process. So we're doing something, we're moving something. It's directed. So we have a vision, an aim, a goal. We have an intention that moves us forward. It's inherently a creative process. We're bringing something into the world that didn't exist before. And finally, it's conscious. So we do it with forethought, with intention. We know we're trying to move towards something. When you pull all that together, I'm knowingly moving in a direction to create something new. That is a form of leadership. And that's something that we can do on our own. It's something we can do also with other people. So again, think about the boss that's not performing well, the manager that's not doing their job. They cannot create direction for people. They cannot get people to move in that direction. They're not able to create things. And more often than not, they have no intention or consciousness around their own actions and behavior. If you're just reacting on instinct and impulse constantly, then you're not leading yourself. If you have no sense of where you're going, then you're just stumbling in the dark. If you don't have any interest in creating, then you're just maintaining things and letting them slowly decay over time. If you cannot work with people, then again, you don't have the skills to take people in this direction with you. All of these components are needed to move people in a direction. Leadership, very simply, is about getting from point A to point B on purpose to achieve hopefully what you want in a new and creative way. This is the beauty of leadership. We can coordinate and cooperate and take people along with us to get to places that are more resourceful, places that we want to get to. And in the process, have usually a ton of fun and ease while moving together. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be chaotic. It doesn't have to be difficult. We can move together and achieve amazing things if we master the art of leadership.